when handled poorly, a lot of them turn to drugs, alcohol, sex, food, mindless watching of television, just kind of any way to escape reality as opposed to actually like aligning by coming within and coming, going to God and really checking with their spirit team and aligning with divinity so they can find the peace that they're looking for. That tells me that you're desperately in need of love. Then no, this ride is meaningless if there is no spirituality in it, if there's no God in it, if there's no alignment in it, if you're not raising the vibration of the consciousness of Earth, you're not doing anything. Because eventually you're going to die, and all these things that you've accumulated are going to collect dust. Somebody's going to be selling them, at an estate sales, and it would be like you were never here, because that's what actually happens when you die. So if you spend your time focusing on these things that are not everlasting, that are not eternal, you're not really living in your purpose. First, let's talk about what Jupiter is. Jupiter is about knowledge, it's about growth, it's about expansion, it's also about luck. When we're talking about Jupiter, we're talking about how do you get lucky, how do you become lucky, what brings more luck into your world. If you are Sagittarius, then that is your ruling planet. Jupiter is basically why you're so lucky, because you come from Jupiter. If you are ruled by Pisces, you are co-ruled, one by Jupiter and secondly by Neptune. Neptune is the planet of the underworld. It's the planet of the subconscious mind. It's the planet of the unseen. It's the planet of dreams. It's the planet of psychic revelations. It's the planet of knowing. It's the planet of spirituality. So Neptune is all about divine energy, psychic energy, healing energy, creative energy. And Jupiter is all about abundance in sense of luck. And Jupiter is also about expansion and growth. So when we think about luck, when we say somebody got lucky, what we mean is that they used to be in one state, and then when they got lucky, they got into another state, right? And that state is much better than the previous state. In astrology, Jupiter is a planet of expansion, and that expansion looks like luck. The more knowledge you have, the more lucky you're going to be with life, okay? You guys may have heard it be said that a lot of luck is preparation meeting opportunity. The key thing here is the preparation part. The opportunity part we can't control. That's divinity, that's destiny. God decides when it happens, what happens at what time. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like, let me give you an example. I'm really into fashion, and I'm so into it that I like to learn the background stories of how people get into fashion, why people get into fashion, and that sort of thing. One thing I've learned so far is that a lot of fashion models didn't actually plan to be models. It just kind of happened. A lot of them, it was just like sheer luck. Like they were hanging out at the beach, and somebody saw them and said, you look like you would take great photos. Here's my card, call me. And then they call them, and then next thing you know, their career takes off, and then they have to get off of this track that they were on. When you're into fashion like I am, you know a lot of these stories, and I can tell you that more often than not, fashion models become fashion models, at least the models that I like, got there by sheer luck. Ducky Thought, I don't know if you guys know Ducky, but Ducky's a fashion model from Australia originally. She was discovered by Kanye West when she was walking down the street in New York. So Kanye saw her and he was like, oh my God, you look amazing. You need to be on a cover of magazines. You need to be on Billboard. You look amazing. So he had his agent, the persons he was with, running down the street, chasing after her and talking to her about, hey, you need to, I want you to come and meet Kanye. And, she's not thinking this person is serious. She still went. And then there she was talking to Kanye, and now she's walking runways for some of the most major fashion labels in the world. That is luck. But the preparation part is, Ducky is from Australia, okay? Ducky's oldest sister started a YouTube channel to talk about fashion, and it wasn't even heavily fashion. It was like makeup, beauty, that kind of stuff. And Ducky's sister was at the time married. So then her YouTube channel turned into her and her husband and their kids and travel and lifestyle. So that was what her sister was doing, her older sister. So then Ducky was encouraged by her older sister to like get into like that kind of thing, like put yourself out there. Like people are out there, like even though you have this unique look, there are people out there who love it because Ducky looks a lot like her sister. So then Ducky got into modeling, and her sister used to take her to modeling gigs and would stay with her because she's very protective of her and all of that. So then eventually Ducky decided to leave Australia and move to New York City to make it into the world of modeling. That was a huge risk because it's not like she had family. It's not like she had friends. It's not like she knew anything about modeling. But she's on the runway, right? Walking the runway for like these major labels, simply because she was walking down the street at the right time, at the right place when Kanye was just hanging out with his people on that street. And Kanye has also put on like the director of Louis Vuitton. Like Kanye is a reason why Pharrell is now over Louis Vuitton menswear. All that is Kanye. So you cannot talk about Louis Vuitton menswear and not talk about Kanye West. That's luck. Luck is something we don't control. Luck is, it just happened. But the thing about luck is that it blows up your world. It makes it bigger. It makes it better. It makes it expanded. It makes it more abundant. It makes it more of everything that you want, right? And it's something you don't do very much to obtain. So when we're talking about luck in astrology, we're talking about how much opportunities do you have for success? Like how close do you come to the edge before you fall in the hole? And when you happen to be Sagittarius and Pisces, you can come very close to the edge and still rise up to the top because you have luck on your side. And it's directly tied to your knowledge, right? Sagittarius and Pisces are both very, very knowledgeable zodiac signs. They know about a lot of things, but specifically about spirituality. Both of these signs are deeply spiritual zodiac signs. Both of these signs are very generous zodiac signs. They really care about people. They really care about society. They're nothing if not giving, loving, kind, helpful people. And the thing about luck and generosity is that when you give it, you get it back. So when you happen to have Jupiter in Pisces, that's actually one of the best places that you could have it. Same with Jupiter in Sagittarius, since Jupiter is a ruler of both Pisces and Sagittarius. A lot of your luck is probably going to come from meeting Pisces, Piscean, Pisces people. If you don't have any in your circles, you need to get some, because that's the energy you want to surround yourself with. If you're trying to get lucky in your life, you want to surround yourself with people that you have your Jupiter zodiac sign in. If you don't have anybody in your circle who has your Jupiter zodiac sign, you're not doing it right, because you want to position yourself to have access to information and energies that you don't have that will lend to you being more lucky. Your luck comes from trusting your intuition. Your luck comes from being a deeply spiritual person. Your luck comes from being generous. In fact, the more you give, the more you get. That's the thing about Pisces and Sagittarius. Whenever you're feeling stuck in life, for you to just look at how much are you giving back to the universe? How much are you giving back to the people around you? How much goodness and how much kindness are you spreading in the world? Because the more you spread goodness, the more you spread kindness, the more you spread generosity, and the more you make other people feel lucky by creating opportunities for them to win at life, the more luck you get. And what you'll notice is the universe tends to bless both of these signs with a lot of luck, with a lot of abundance. It's because these signs are not hoarders. Pisces is not a hoarder. Sagittarius is not a hoarder.
You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com. You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo